what has food got to do with it? Our nutritionist will be telling us more.
The values of 3 angles at a point are 3P.
It comes with high fever.
The analysis.
It was finally
The state decided to go out to speak to quite a number of lawyers.
You are very right.
What did they say?
Just so hard. I'm stranded. And I want to go fly.
You're asking me to come back now for 1,500 naira. Not so.
He has been indulging in such pastime only to discredit me.
I want to know why you lied to me. You know that made I cancel our engagement.
What is it? Mindset has eroded your sense of discernment.
You are a brick ring, a brown man, a prodigal.
Professor, your friend, over and out.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at
can submit your information anonymously and confidentially through our online portal, by email or by phone.
Federal government takes additional measures to protect whistleblowers. Minister of Labour weighs into ASUU strike, meets with union on the ongoing renegotiation of 2009 agreement.
Before, the story was that the discos were not getting enough power. The story has changed. There's now more power than the discos can sell.
Good news from the power sector as electric power supply generation hits all-time record of 6,853 megawatts. And National Orientation Agency partners women lawyers on violence against women. Hello and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Ayinde Shuaga in Abuja. Ademola Adeoye is in Lagos. And Mohammed Ibrahim is in Maiduguri. Following the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASUU directive to all public universities to embark on indefinite strike, The 3-day window period open to local government chapters of the union to domesticate the directive is being considered by some institutions. Timothy Yusuf was at the University of Abuja for a situation report.
Academic activities were still going on without hindrances at the time of visit to the permanent site of the university. This is not to say that ASUU's directive was not adhered to, as the institution's chapter of the union has already scheduled a congress for Wednesday, 16th August 2017. Dr. Ben Uheoke is the congregation representative of the University of Abuja.
It's a directive and we must comply, and we will comply tomorrow after the congress.
The students declined speaking to our crew, but Mr. Uheoke said the management will take necessary decision concerning them.
We are not management or administration of each university. Whatever the administrations choose, that is their own. But for us, we have a union and we are acting in accordance to the directive of the neck of our union.
He, however, hopes that the impasse will be quickly resolved. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The federal government has appealed to the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, to suspend its ongoing strike in the interest of the nation. Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, met with the union Tuesday, saying there was an ongoing renegotiation of the 2009 agreement between the federal government and the ASUU by the Babalakin Committee, which the federal government set up on Monday, 13th February 2017. The committee said is already addressing the issues raised by ASUU. Particularly, the meeting agreed on the forensic audit of the sum of 30 billion naira earlier given to ASUU in 2010 and further agreed on monthly remittances to ASUU while the audit lasts. In curbing security challenges on the nation's waterways, the Nigerian Navy says it will upgrade capacity of staff and equipment at its engineering college, Sapele, Delta State. Flag Officer Commanding Naval Training Command, Rear Admiral Obi Ofodile, said this during the graduation of the outboard engine maintenance course. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma reports.
This is a familiarization tour of key institutions under the Naval Training Command by the new Flag Officer Commanding FOC. Taking the FOC round facilities at the college, the Commandant Commodore Magnus Dironyema highlighted some challenges faced by the college, to include insufficient equipment and staff. While addressing officers and ratings of the college, Rear Admiral Ofodile charged them to be dedicated to duties with a promise that their plight will be forwarded to the Naval headquarters.
The facilities have to be upgraded, and those ones that are not here have to be provided. Same with teaching aids to have the best products come out of this college.
The FOC also presided over the graduation of outboard engine maintenance course qualification levels 1 to 3. Isaac Nkuma, NTA News.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says the People's Democratic Party-led administration left behind a battered economy enmeshed in corruption and waste. Malam Garba Shehu said this in a reaction to President Jonathan's comment on the economy during Saturday's PDP National Non-Elective Convention in Abuja. Gabriel Odu reports.
The oil sector under the last administration was at its peak, with prices as high as $120 per barrel, and the Niger Delta was peaceful, the presidential aide said. At the inception of the current administration, Malam Garba Shehu says 21 states could not pay workers' salaries, compounding the situation with reckless borrowing and heavy debt profile. Malam Shehu said, putting the record straight, the present administration is doing what the PDP could not do by fighting corruption, sanitizing the huge salary bill by eliminating payroll fraud, reducing wasteful expenses like first-class travel and private jets, increasing spending on capital projects, and focusing on key sectors that create jobs, generating revenue in agriculture, solid minerals, and manufacturing. In Abuja, Gabriel Odu, NTA News.
Renewed attention by the federal government in the power sector is helping it boost electric power generation, hitting an all-time record of more than 6,000 megawatts. At a stakeholders meeting in Kano, Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, said government is looking at the possibility of helping distribution companies to claim more of the generated power to deliver to the people. Usman Aliyu reports.
The commissioning of this injection substation at Dakata is to improve stability and quality of electricity to the community, their commercial activities and at homes. These events are prelude to the monthly power sector meeting in Kumbozo Transmission Station, powering Kano, Katsina and Jigawa states. Though there is remarkable success in the power generation in Nigeria with a current record of 6,863 megawatt and transmission capacity of 6,700 megawatt, new challenges emerge. The inability of the distribution companies to buy more and sell.
Before, the story was that the discos were not getting enough power. The story has changed. There's now more power than the discos can sell. That is progress, but it creates a new problem. How do we ensure that everybody is working together? Gencos have increased, transmission has increased, so we must help the discos.
Steps taken, the progress making, and the new challenges emerging have emboldened the power sector recovery program on its expansion of transmission capacity. The recent mini-grid regulation is a package of hope and aspirations.
Those grid regulations now will regulate people who are not served by discos at all or who are poorly served because their equipment is not working.
Another issue to address is the lingering power theft, which stakeholders believe must be tackled.
If you do meter bypass, it's stealing. If you don't pay for your electricity that you are supposed to, it's stealing.
There is hope that the improvement on increased electricity availability in Nigeria will be maintained. Usman Aliyu, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has cautioned heads of ministries, departments and agencies against the approval of cash advances above the stipulated amount provided by the financial regulations and guidelines. This followed a query raised by the Auditor General of the Federation against the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development and the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority for violation of financial regulations. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
In the query raised against the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, the Auditor General questioned the ministry over alleged irregularity in the purchase and distribution of 63 ambulances and 576,400 naira paid to a staff for an official visit to Calabar that did not take place.
Out of the 4 officers slated for the fact-finding visit, 3 have denied knowledge of any visit to Calabar despite the air ticket bearing their names.
And I believe the money was refunded. I think it was in our earlier submission, sir.
Considering the date that this is an event that took place in 2010, we will not cause a further criminal trial on this matter. We will caution public office holders to endeavor to live above board.
The second query of the day was against the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority for spending over 5 million naira cash against the threshold of the financial regulations guidelines.
The apparent violation of the financial regulations stipulated limit of cash advances occurred because of the urgency involved in carrying out the assignment at the time.
Between February 2017 to now is 6 months. How much have you paid monthly for fueling?
Precise figure, but I can give an estimate of about 10 million.
10 million per month?
Yes.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Youth Parliament has called on state assemblies to pass the Not Too Young to Run bill already passed by the National Assembly. The Youth Parliament also condemned utterances by some sections of the country to undermine the nation's unity. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Efforts are being made to improve on federal government's whistleblower policy with a view to ensure protection of whistleblowers and good governance. Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun said this at a lunchtime seminar on whistleblower policy and its implication for public servants in Abuja. Musa Abubakar has details.
The whistleblower policy, which serves as a tool for sanctioning offenders and providing incentives for those reporting acts of corruption, is also designed to gain public trust and ensure good governance. In line with the public service reforms, the whistleblower policy is also expected to improve the public service in its delivery of public goods.
Problems you find in the service delivery chain were very quick to blame on corruption. Our studies are actually showing that there are a number of process weaknesses which can be strengthened.
Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, observed that although there is more to be done in the fight against corruption, the policy has come to stay and efforts are being made to fine-tune it to achieve the desired objectives.
If for any reason, after you've made a disclosure, you feel that you are being treated badly because of your report, you can file a formal complaint through the same confidential channels, and the matter will be dealt with immediately and with the seriousness it deserves.
Public servants are urged to come forward with any useful information as the policy guarantees protection of whistleblowers. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
The Nigeria Customs Service Kano State Command has intercepted trucks loaded with cooking oil, tons of rice and other items suspected to be contraband worth millions of naira imported through various illegal routes in Kano and Jigawa states. Mohammed Umar Ajingi reports.
The importation of rice through Nigerian land borders has been prohibited by the Nigerian government with a view to stimulate the production of rice locally. Yet smugglers have become defiant. The seizure of these trucks and smuggled goods worth millions of naira is a major breakthrough for the Kano Command of the Customs Service.
The cartons of Lipton, Nigerian Lipton, that were used to conceal this rice, to give a picture like they are trading in local items.
Another truck seized by the custom personnel was released after investigation revealed that due process was followed in the import of the goods, which are not on the list of banned items. Meanwhile, the custom officers held an interactive meeting with the representatives of businessmen in Kano for better understanding and ensuring that the genuine import and export is not hindered. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Executive officers and agencies under the Ministry of Science and Technology have been charged to be effective channels through which the philosophy and strategies of the ministry can be disseminated and implemented. This was at a forum chaired by the Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, to acquaint the chief executives with plans to deepen science and technology and innovation in the nation's development process. Science correspondent Kerian Umayo reports.
The chief executives are expected to adopt the visionary and creative strategies that will enable Nigeria move from resource to knowledge-based economy. Dr. Onu told the officers that the Federal Executive Council approved a new and revolutionary policy guidelines for the design and execution of programs, projects and contracts with science, engineering and technology components.
This will help our dear country, Nigeria, promote national self-reliance by promoting a radical shift in emphasis toward entrenching science, technology, and innovation as an invaluable component of virtually all strata of our national development process.
He affirmed that the current administration is determined to ensure that science and technology play a vital role in its efforts to diversify the nation's economy, adding that the recent conceptualization of strategy for competitiveness in raw materials and product development is aimed at addressing the challenge of developing policies that can stimulate economic diversification and industrialization in an irreversible manner. Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Normalcy returns to Wuse Market after minor skirmishes. Details after some messages. Please don't go away.
When growth flows from the middle out, that's sound economic wisdom.
when it spreads everywhere, reaching and affecting many people. That's inclusive governance. In Yobe, such impact is loudly pronounced in the health and education sectors. Qualitative, accessible, and affordable healthcare facilities in all parts of the state. Yobe's progress in healthcare is tied to an equally reformed and growing education sector. Education structures are built, rehabilitated, and expanded, providing the right learning environment at all levels. This is the story at GGSS Nguru, GSS Yunusari, GSS Buyokura. It is also the story at GSS Fika, and now GSS Nangere. These are surely worthy investments for today and tomorrow. Ibrahim Gaidam, governance democratized. Yobe, truly the pride of the Sahel.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please.
Yo.
This is not my Indomie. Please, sir, if it's not Indomie, don't call it Indomie.
Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy our delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles. The difference is the taste.
Taste is the difference.
Yes, difference is in the taste. Nothing tastes like my Indomie.
Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Nigeria is a strong emerging world economy with a population of over 170 million people. With the diligent work of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, in line with the federal government's economic diversification agenda, SON has put in place accredited laboratories to ensure that made in Nigeria products meet international standards and ready for export. SON regularly conducts products registration, certifications, factory inspections, monitoring, a metrology laboratory to get accurate measurements, while SONCAP checks the conformity of imported products and the SON Legal Act to prosecute offenders. Don't sell and don't buy substandard products. Before you buy, look well. See something, say something, or call these numbers. SON, improving life through standards.
The Senate Committee on Culture and Tourism called for memoranda and invitation to a one-day public hearing on a bill for an act to provide Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation Act CARP N137 of the Law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2004, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2017 SB 429. Date Thursday, August 17, 2017. Venue Senate Conference Room 022, Grand Floor, Senate Building, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. The underlisted institutions are requested to submit memoranda and be present at the public hearing. For further inquiries, please contact the committee clerk Abbas Mohammed on 0809-111-3323. Senator Matthew A. Uwogide, Chairman, Senate Committee on Culture and Tourism, announcer.
Get ready for the Diaspora Festival, Badagry, Lagos, as we welcome diasporans.
Our ancestors walked through the door of no return. Now we walk through the door of return.
And also to celebrate the cultural heritage of Nigeria. Theme, Voyage to Heritage, featuring a lot of exciting activities like the historic Door of Return ceremony, carnival procession, boat regatta, dark era procession, fishing competition, heritage site visits, international music concert, an international symposium themed African diaspora beyond the Atlantic, and lots more. Date 23rd to 25th of August 2017. For sponsorship and more information, please call. Come and join the Voyage to Heritage. See you there.
The Honorable Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola SAN, invites stakeholders and participants to the 6th meeting of the National Council on Lands, Housing and Urban Development. Theme, Building for Inclusion, Growth and Prosperity. Special guest of honor, Mohammed Musa Bello, Honorable Minister, Federal Capital Territory. Participants, Honorable Commissioners responsible for lands, housing and urban development in the 36 states of the Federation, State Permanent Secretaries, relevant directors, General Managers of Housing Corporations, Surveyors General of states, professional and regulatory agencies in the sector, and other stakeholders in the built industry. Date 21st to 25th August 2017. Venue NAV Conference Center, Ahmadu Bello Way, Kado, Abuja. Time 9 a.m. daily. Announcer Muhammad Bukar, Permanent Secretary, Works and Housing.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Welcome back to NTA Network News. The timely intervention of security agencies restored law and order this afternoon at Wuse Market after a group of agitators tried to force its way into the market. Mohammed Ali reports that normalcy has been restored and the market is expected to reopen for business Wednesday.
Like every normal day, 56-year-old Baba Awal is at the Wuse bus stop, ensuring order as commuters alert commercial vehicles coming into the city, while others brought same away from the park. Just when business was beginning to pick up, he heard some disturbing noise coming from the market's main gate.
Just shouting, say Baba, say Baba.
Chairman Wuse Market Traders Association Okori Raphael and the manager of the Wuse Market Ibrahim Yahaya explained what really caused the melee.
This demonstration, which was carried out, caused a conflict of interest because there were different shades of opinion, and in the process there was breakdown of law and order. And in the wisdom of the entire FCT team, as directed by the Minister, the market was shut down to protect lives and properties.
Some group of people came in to protest, and definitely there are people of diverse opinion in the market, and there was clash of interest, and it resulted in a clash. And the police came in to forestall further breakdown of law and order.
When NTA News arrived the market, security personnel have succeeded in bringing the situation under control. All closed roads leading to the market were reopened. Police Public Relations Officer, FCT Command and Jiguri Manza informed NTA News off camera that a team of police led by the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of operations and command of the situation. Mohammed Ali, NTA News.
Following complaints from within and outside Nigeria, the Nigerian Army has directed aggrieved members of the public to report any case of human rights abuse by any Army personnel to the authorities for immediate action. Director, Civil Military Affairs, Brigadier General Solomon Kumakpayi said this in Kaduna during a training for Army personnel on human rights. Benny Adams reports.
Coming from the widely reported human rights abuses by Nigeria's armed forces, especially the Nigerian Army, in their fight against insurgency in the northeast, which has led to the Army authorities investigating itself, and just recently, the acting president inaugurated a presidential committee to validate claims by human rights groups against the Army. This informed the nationwide sensitization of personnel on human rights violation and rules of engagement by the Army leadership.
Witness is a decline in human rights cases. Soldiers are doing their job more professionally.
Any factual problem at the lower levels can easily become a strategic problem at higher levels. So it becomes very necessary for all officers and indeed all soldiers to know what human rights laws are.
The participants, drawn from units under the 1 Division Nigerian Army, are expected to return to the units and impact the knowledge acquired to others. In Kaduna, Benny Adams, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Director General, National Orientation Agency, NOA, Dr. Garba Abari, has reiterated NOA's commitment to upscale its partnership with the International Federation of Women Lawyers to take the advocacy of curbing violence against women to all the nooks and crannies of the country. This was when they received members of the association in Abuja on the heels of the forthcoming general elections. Dr. Abari speaks.
Actually, the promise, the fact that the future is feminine, and I always say that the future is feminine. So we need to actually come together and ensure that this very large population structure is made to play the role that is expected of it for the purposes of our national government.
The poor investigations and prosecution of gender-based violence cases by authorities, FIDA Nigeria president, represented by Rhoda Moore, clears the grey areas.
Continue to increase in the society. Part of this stems from the issues of insecurity, old and archaic traditional laws, customs, ignorance of the general public as regards fundamental human rights, violation and the laws available for victims, and their needs tend to be ignored, leaving them to pick up the pieces of their lives all alone.
The partnership with NOAA, FIDA says, will further strengthen the implementation of its Stop Violence Against Women in Elections project. Violence against women is a complex social problem with far-reaching health consequences. There is therefore an advocacy on the need to change the fight from whispering to shouting to scare away prospective abusers. This was at the National Training for Leaders on Voices Against Violence. Basi Taikpan reports.
The training for leaders with participants from the 36 states and Abuja is organized by the Girl Guides Association to equip participants with relevant information on violence and handling such situations when they occur.
We as females, we want to cry out because we are the mothers of these children. Whatever affects them affects us.
There's this saying that when you train a girl, you have trained a nation. And that is true because the girl child grows into becoming a mother.
Speakers stressed the need for the Child's Rights Act to be domesticated across the states in Nigeria.
Violence against women is a manifestation of gender inequality and systemic gender-based discrimination. Or to put it differently, gender inequality is the root cause of violence against women.
And if we are really accept our mistakes and we can come together in one voice and bringing up our children has changed, I'm sure by God's grace, this violence that we are crying all the time, it will reduce in the society.
The theme of the training is From Whisper to a Shout, Voices Against Violence. Basi Taikpan, NTA News.
The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, has been commended for its citizen-centered service delivery. National Coordinator Service Compact Servicom gave the commendation when she paid a working visit on the Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, at its corporate headquarters in Abuja. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports.
Since the Servicom unit of the NTA was commissioned in 2007, the unit has been complementing the functions of the establishment as a service provider. National Coordinator Servicom Nnenna Akajameli and her team were in NTA to solicit the support of the management. In her presentation, Mrs. Akajameli advocated the review of NTA's service charter and reward system for outstanding staff. Executive Director Admin and Training Steve Egbo, who represented the Director General Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, said NTA will continue to live up to its responsibility in disseminating reliable information to the people.
The actual scores of NTA from the point of view of the customers, of the service takers, they are doing a good job. The feedback we have from the street, we want to sustain healthy competition among staff.
The citizens are like customers. They have invested in this government and they have a right to reap the reward of that investment. So the government is working hard to provide the services, and we at NTA are protecting the very important and vital aspects of nationhood.
Both parties agreed on stronger collaboration on service delivery to Nigerians. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
The Bureau of Public Service Reforms and Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, are strategizing on ways to help the Corps improve its services on safety delivery to Nigerians. This formed the agenda of a meeting between the Director General, Bureau of Public Service Reforms, Dr. Joe Abba, and the FRSC Corps Marshal, Buboye Oyeyemi, at the Corps headquarters in Abuja. Patricia Esamiluba reports.
The visit of the team from the Bureau of Public Service Reforms to the FRSC office is to study the process of acquiring driver's license by applicants through the collaboration of the driving schools, the Vehicle Inspection Office, and the FRSC. Dr. Joe Abba said the Bureau through its findings identify a number of constraints, saying, if addressed, will help achieve a better service delivery in the area of driver's license production.
Our basic approach is that any reforms we do must lead to tangible improvements in the public services that citizens experience.
FRSC Corps Marshal Buboye Oyeyemi expressed satisfaction at the level of incisiveness in the report of the Bureau, promising that the Corps is ready for more collaboration towards improved services.
Have an implementation team, right, and we are going to do more further to all these things. But like I said, we are going to partner with not only that, even for our patrol operations, carry out independent studies, ways to improve. We like criticism.
The Corps Marshal also said the report will be studied and acted upon. In Abuja, Patricia A. Sabiluba, NTA News.
Lagos State government woos foreign investors to the state. Ademola has the details from Lagos Network Center. Hello, Ademola, over to you.
Thank you, Aide. Good evening and warm welcome to Lagos. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has expressed his administration's readiness to make both foreign and local business flourish in the state. Nosa Osula reports that the governor also assured investors of promoting business-friendly policies.
He stated that the state government was making progress in creating an enabling environment through policies, initiatives, institutional re-energizing, as well as infrastructural renewal and development. He added that his administration is ready to support both foreign and local businesses where necessary towards ensuring that investments remain prosperous.
They must own the government because the resources that comes to the government are so limited that the only functional template is to allow the private sector to drive the economy. The only thing that government should do is to just be an enabler or create the enabling environment to allow the economy to run.
In line with plans to make Lagos a smart city, Ambode stated that the state government is deploying sophisticated technology to achieve the goal.
There are new influx of bus terminals, playgrounds, bus stops, and the introduction of a new bus system. In the last 1 year, we've decided also to say, we must integrate railroad, water, air together in such a way that this system of connectivity is improved upon.
The governor used the occasion to call on the organized private sector to continue to partner with the state government, stressing that his administration remains committed to finding solutions to challenges confronting the business sector. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has apprehended 2 suspects who were caught vandalizing electricity cables worth 500,000 naira at Oshodi. The Commandant, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Tajuddin Balogun, made this known while briefing newsmen on the arrest in Lagos. Imoleayo Tokede has the details.
The Commandant of Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Tajuddin Balogun, the 2 suspects, Yemi Aino and Mayowa Adedoyin, were caught vandalizing a distribution cable that supplies electricity on Friday in Oshodi. Officials of NSCDC on routine patrol stepped into the crime scene and arrested the suspects.
It's a very unique one that they call 3-core cable, and it has extensive usage. That just cutting this one now, so many areas it be in perpetual darkness, and they must have been doing it for quite a long time. They were arrested at a very, very ungodly hour, about 0400 hours, when they assume that most security operatives will be sleeping.
One of the suspects, a 32-year-old, claims he is innocent, even though he admitted he was promised the sum of 15,000 naira to ensure the success of the operation. While the other suspect, a 22-year-old bus conductor, revealed that a man named $1, who he followed to the crime scene, promised to settle him after the operation.
I am innocent. I don't know how they came about cutting cables. I am just a bus conductor. I was told to watch the road during the operation.
The NSCDC commandant emphasized that investigations are still ongoing as other accomplices in the crime will be prosecuted. In Lagos, Imoleayo Tokede, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We now take a break for some messages, after which the news continues from Abuja. Stay with us.
Here we are.
I think this is the old drawing, no?
These are old drawings? Yes, sir. We should go. Email me the new drawings immediately. Yes, sir.
I think you might want to try my glow line, sir.
Glow 4G LTE.
I thought you were about to send the chopper back for that drawing.
Why rely on anything else? These data plans are available to all new customers and existing customers who renew their plans. Dial *777#. Welcome to the new speed of life.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Cadbury Bournvita now comes in an attractive new 500-gram refill pack. Simply open and reseal after use to retain the chocolatey and creamy taste. Cadbury Bournvita. Prepare to win.
Best concert of your life? Don't just stay cool, stay refreshed with an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Pick your lane, solo or bigger boy.
Taste the feeling.
Bayes University Abuja offers world-class education, uninterrupted academic session, and promising degrees. Bayes University Abuja is affordable and delivers quality with experienced international staff, superb facilities, overseas external examiners, and a serene academic atmosphere. We offer quality and affordable education, and students are within easy reach of their parents here at Bayes University Abuja. So learn to live at Bayes University for a brighter future. For more information, visit our website at www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng or call 081 3376 9657 or 081 3376 9658. Bayes University, Abuja. Learn to live.
Federal government to ban importation of fish into the country as Nigeria's fish production hits 1 million tons. Details with Vivian Idekpefo on Business News.
Thank you for joining us on Business News at this time. The federal government has announced its intention to ban the importation of fish into the country, which gobs about $700 million annually. Minister of State for Agriculture and Rural Development, Henikin Lukbobri, says the move is to boost the local economy and create sustainable jobs, as well as improve Nigeria's export capacity in aquaculture.
So when we came, we started reducing the quota that has been given to fish importers year by year in agreement with the Central Bank of Nigeria.
And turning now to the capital markets, the all-share index closed for the second day of the week on a negative note, with market capitalization below the 13 trillion naira mark. Here is a summary of Tuesday's trading figures on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And that's business news at this time. Now to the rest of the bulletin.
United Nations office resumes normal activities in Borno. Over now to Mohammed with details in Maiduguri Network Center.
Thank you, Aide. Welcome to Maiduguri. The United Nations says it has fully resumed its humanitarian operations in Borno State following suspension of activities in protest against unauthorized raid of its humanitarian base camp by the military last Friday in Maiduguri. UN Deputy Coordinator for Humanitarian Affairs Peter Lundberg disclosed this when he received Governor Kashim Shettima at the raided UN camp for a joint press briefing. Abubakar Mohamed Musa reports.
While noting that the relationship between the United Nations and Borno State government is intact, Peter Lundberg said they are focused towards ensuring that millions of vulnerable persons in the Northeast are supported with life-saving humanitarian aid. The UN Deputy Coordinator for Humanitarian Affairs disclosed that the UN provides food to 2 million persons affected by Boko Haram crisis every month, in addition to seeds, farming tools and fertilizers to about 1.2 million people. Peter Lundberg observed that statistics has shown that 8.5 million people in worst affected states of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe are in need of humanitarian assistance and are sure to sustain its support to victims of insurgency in the Northeast. Describing the unfortunate incident as regrettable, Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima said he had convened an emergency security meeting which was attended by heads of military organizations and the UN Deputy Humanitarian Coordinator to proffer lasting solution to the mayhem. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Muhammad Musa, NTA News.
Theater Commander Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, has charged mobile strike forces to remain disciplined, self-confident and determined towards ensuring the final decimation of Boko Haram terrorists in the theater. He gave the charge while inducting the strike forces into Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri. Memona Garba has the report.
The Mobile Strike Forces recently undergone rigorous training at the Armed Forces Special Forces School Bunyadi with the aim of equipping them for the purpose of ensuring complete denial of freedom of action and final decimation of Boko Haram terrorists.
All these are in an effort to ensuring the success of Operation Lafia Dole, thereby enhancing our operational efficiency.
Meanwhile, Department of Civil Military Affairs, Army Headquarters has organized human rights sensitization workshop for troops of 7 Division and members of other security agencies. The workshop, according to Chief of Civil Military Affairs Major General Lu Angbazo, will remind troops on human rights issues in order to conduct their operations without hindrance.
It is for us to be able to discuss with our officers, with our troops, to let them know the global best practices in our operations.
GOC 7th Division Brigadier General Ibrahim Manu Yusuf described the workshop as timely, adding that troops' adequate knowledge on human rights issues will enable them to be more responsive. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
That's all from Maiduguri, as I now hand you over to Ainde in Abuja.
Thank you. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo has challenged Nigerians to believe in the existence of a supernatural being whom, according to him, has the supreme power to turn situations around. Professor Osinbajo said this at the luncheon and public presentation of a book in honor of the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church, Pastor Enoch Adeboye. Hakim Jimo reports.
Citing some of his personal experiences, acting president Professor Yemi Osinbajo said God truly answers prayers of those who believe in him. He described the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, as a rare gift to this generation, noting that the trajectory of the life of the General Overseer shows clearly the hand of God upon his life.
God truly works in the affairs of man, and that there is a God in heaven who truly answers prayers.
The acting president called on Nigerians to put their trust in God. Professor Osinbajo also appreciated the ministers of God for their unrelenting prayers for the nation. Chairman of the book presentation, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, said no man on the African continent has impacted the spiritual lives of people like Pastor Adeboye.
Has been a praying father, somebody who has rallied around all the people of Ogun State.
Entitled Pastor E.A. Adeboye, His Life and Calling, authored by his wife, Mrs. Foluke Adeboye, and supported by 40 other co-authors. The 386-page book was unveiled to mark his 75th birthday and his 50th marriage anniversary.
But he says, I have to be here, and I'm here. And in the name of that God that you have come to honor, you too will be celebrated.
Other ministers of God present extol the virtues of the celebrant. Hakim Jimo, NTA News.
As more pilgrims fly into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia through King Abdulaziz International Airport, Jeddah, and the Mohammed bin Abdulaziz Airport, Medina, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria is working round the clock to ensure pilgrims' safety and comfort. The areas engaging the attention of the body include accommodation, feeding, and transportation.
There are 3,330 pilgrims that have so far arrived in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and 77 flights have been housed in the Markaziyah area of Medina, all within the presence of the Prophet's Mosque. Most of the pilgrims stay for 8 days in Medina before proceeding to Mecca ahead of the Hajj. The pilgrims express satisfaction with arrangements put in place for their comfort. The buses now transporting them to Mecca are fully air-conditioned, fitted with toilet facilities and refrigerators. They are also served 2 meals daily, which consist of breakfast and dinner. You know, this morning they give us tea and sliced bread and cake. We eat it, and everybody was going to his room. Not stressful, nothing. Well, we thank God.
The food, alhamdulillah, they are very great. Very great. It's very great. Alhamdulillah.
The Hajj Commission has also procured drugs enough to last the period of Hajj for the pilgrims, as confirmed by the medical coordinator of Medina, Dr. Hamidul Iman.
The headquarters of our clinic is in Kurban Street, here at the NACON headquarters. But because the pilgrims are all around the Haram, we have established one outreach for now at Elias Center. And the Elias Center is like a feeder to this headquarters. But it is also empowered to be able to refer patients that need to be referred to Saudi hospitals.
In Medina Al-Manawwara, Adam Hassan Abdullahi.
We have more reports from NTA Benin Network Center. Over to Agatha.
Thank you, Ainde. Good evening and a warm welcome to Benin.
The 260 intending pilgrims to this year's Hajj at Mecca, Saudi Arabia, have been charged to be spiritually focused and eschew all forms of vices that would tarnish the image of the state and the country at large while in the Holy Land. Governor Gordon Obaseki gave the charge when he visited the intending pilgrims at the Al-Hajj Usman Shagari Hajj camp in Benin City. Goodluck Enaini reports.
These intending pilgrims, made up of 135 females and 125 males, have been in the Hajj camp in Benin, making final preparations for their airlift. It was at the heights of the preparations that Governor Obaseki came visiting to show solidarity and urged the intending pilgrims to pray for the nation and for the quick recovery of President Muhammadu Buhari.
I have no doubt in my mind that you are all Edo people who have those strong Edo values. You are courageous, you are upright, you are honest people, and you are going to demonstrate these values when you go to Mecca.
Governor Obaseki is the first governor to visit the camp. In Benin, I am Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
And away from religious matters, normalcy has been restored in the Edo State House of Assembly following the impeachment of the former Speaker, Dr. Justin Okonobo, his deputy, Elizabeth Sative, and the Majority Leader, Mr. Foley Ogedegbe. Frank Okonofa brings us an update.
At plenary this Tuesday, the House, under the leadership of the new Speaker, Kabiru Ajoto, called on Edo State Government, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, and other relevant agencies to, as a matter of urgency, come to the aid of the people of Esako East local government area.
Mr. Speaker, it's a case of my people. They can no longer drink water.
Mr. Kabiru Ajoto is the fourth Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly within the last 2 years of the 6th Assembly. Meanwhile, the former Speaker, Mr. Justin Okonobo, says he remains the Speaker of the Assembly.
Honorable Kabiru Ajoto, Honorable Victor Edora, they are all suspended. Those who came with alien character must be checked.
Sitting has been adjourned to Wednesday in Benin. Frank Okonofwa, NTA News.
That's it from here. The network news continues with Ainde in Abuja.
Thank you, Agatha. We have a bit on sports and foreign news after the break. Stay with us.
Medicinal plant development in Nigeria. How viable for affordable health care? That is the focus this week on NTA Tuesday Live. NTA Tuesday Live. Incisive, educative, and informative. Join us.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC as an agency is indeed doing so much to protect the health of our nation. I urge everyone to support NAFDAC in ridding the country of fake drugs and unwholesome products.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
President Muhammadu Buhari sympathizes with President Ernest Bai Koroma of Sierra Leone over the huge loss of lives and massive devastation caused by mudslide in the West African country. In a Tuesday telephone call from London, President Buhari told President Koroma that the hearts of Nigerians are with the people of Sierra Leone at this tragic and painful period in the history of the country. President Buhari prays that Almighty God will comfort those who are mourning loved ones and suffered other losses. President Koroma thanked President Buhari for his show of concern and wished him good health. Nigeria's D Tigers set to depart Wednesday for Bamako. Mali's team Kalotari outplayed Team Optiweb in the NCC Tennis League in Lorry, Kwara State. Ayodeji Makinde brings us details on Sports Update.
With less than 4 days to the commencement of the 2017 Women Afrobasket in Mali, Nigeria's D Tigers will depart the country Wednesday for Bamako. Nigeria's delegation will be led by Vice President Nigeria